surprised you'll take a cup of tea from a bigot like me.
Well, so you are. Only it all turned out all right, so I've forgiven you.
Thank you very much.
Now, what was I talking about?
Blackpool, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, yes. You could see all over the town if you got stuck at the top.
Top of what?
Oh, the big wheel, the one at the Winter Gardens. Me and Armistead always used to go on that whenever we went to Blackpool.
You must have had more money than sense.
Oh, no. It was a sentimental journey for me and Armistead with that, Ina. It was on top of the big wheel that he asked me.
Asked you what, to wed him?
No, to go to their house for me tea. Only, of course, it's not there anymore now. It was pulled down soon after the Great War.
Oh, you're going back a bit, aren't you?
Oh, I can see him so clearly when he asked me. We were stuck right at the top, and it had been raining that morning, and when I looked down, the streets were all shiny, just as if they'd been donkey stoned.
You want another cup of tea before your boyfriend calls for you?
No, thanks, Ina.
Does Dave Smith know you are here?
Oh, well, Albert's going past his place. He said he'd tell him.
Oh, he's taking his time.
Oh, Ina, I wish you was coming with me.
Now, look, you'll see more of Blackpool lights from Dave Smith's car than you will with me hanging on your arm, so stop trying to change my principles.
It's your mind I want to change, only it would do you good. The air in Blackpool's the finest in Britain.
So they say, but why should he beats me?
Oh, but it's a well-known fact, Ina. It's the ozone.
Fancy?
Yes, Armistead used to say, if only they could bottle Blackpool air and export it, there'd be no national debt.
Well, if I know out about Blackpool, somebody'd probably already done it and made a packet out of it.
Morning, ladies.
Oh, you're there, are you?
Ready, darling?
She's been ready since 9 o'clock when you promised to pick her up.
Ah, well, we had this spot to bother with the family rolls, you know. The ashtrays are full again, so I had to send it back to the factory.
Now, you've got a rain hood with you, have you?
Now, that is something we are not going to need, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh.
No, because I've got this special arrangement with the Manchester Weather Centre.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they know that whenever I'm taking a glamorous bird to Blackpool, they lay on 10 hours of glorious sunshine.
There used to be a very humpback bridge on the way to Blackpool, and we all used to scream when we used to go over it in the shower. Will we be going that way?
You play your cards right, and in 2 hours' time, you'll be on the Big Dipper with the best-looking bookie in Blackpool.
Just a minute, Lochinvar, before you gallop off with her.
Oh, now, don't tell me. Let it come as a gorgeous surprise. You're coming with us as a chaperone.
Just something for you to chew on between here and that humpback bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she may act like she's 12 years old sometimes, but she's not. So, watch both ways for her crossing the tram lines. Keep her away from couples because they make her bilious. And whatever you do, keep her away from the one-armed bandits because where gambling's concerned, she's not responsible for her actions.
Anything else before we go?
Oh, yes, just one thing. You thought I'd forgotten, didn't you? Happy birthday.
Oh, Ina, you remembered.
Well, I couldn't help it, could I, with all that hinting going on? Well, go on now, the pair of you, off you go. And don't forget what I told you.
Come on, darling.
Can you say that again in words of one syllable, only my head's not woke up yet?
12 new pence, 10 new pence.
10 new pence.
Special offer this week, right?
Right.
If in doubt, don't strain your brain. Ask.
And thou shalt receive, right?
Would a strong cup of tea help?
Oh, I thought he'd never ask.
Ooh, you want to try going to bed at night.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
It's Vanessa the Undresser from Annie Walker's Speakeasy.
Oh, watch your mouth, Langton.
Hey, what's all this then?
Oh, just whiling away the hours between jobs like.
Oh, I see you're one of the faceless millions who's helping the balance of payments, are you?
That's right.
Hey, you know, perhaps we could get Therese to strike a medal for you. Alone I stood against the gnomes of Zurich in the Dole Queue.
Do you think you would?
Well, no, but he might take you for a ride on his yacht if only chuck you overboard. I mean, it'd be one less mouth to feed, wouldn't it?
What have you come in for, a near road?
Our order for the week, darling. We'll call him for it later.
Oh, what a shame.
What do you mean?
Well, I just think it's dead touching the sight of two big, hairy fellas having to bring their own order in because they can't get a woman to do it for them.
Did you hear that?
Ah, take no notice. She's just bitter and twisted because every time she proposes to me, I turn her down.
No, serious though, do you want a glamorous, efficient and permanent secretary at that yard of yours?
We're always looking for one of them, love.
Yes, so if you do see one, give us a nod, eh?
Yeah? Just hang on a minute, Chuck. Yeah, now, if you just hutch up a bit to your right.
The flaming right?
That's right, Chuck.
You just said to the right, then you said, oh, chop to the left.
Ah, yeah, but that was before I was seeing it from the proper advantage.
Listen,
Chuck.
I'll lift this table once more. If you want it moving again, you'll move it your flipping self. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, now that's it, Chuck, isn't it? I mean, that makes the hatch the proper vocal point of the whole room, don't you think so?
Can't see any difference myself.
No, well, of course you wouldn't, Stan, not having my feminine intuition, like. Your talents lie in other directions.
Ah, it's not a bad job, although I say it myself.
And you should do a bit more of that, you know, Stanley. Say it yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, you're not fully appreciated round here, Chuck, for your true worth.
You reckon?
Yeah. I mean, what is it goes through all their minds round here whenever they see you going past the front windows?
What?
There he goes, Hilda Ogden's husband. Great big fat lazy barrel of lard.
Who said that?
Oh, they don't actually say it, Chuck, but them words is written right across their faces. You can tell by the way they talk to you. You know, our trouble is, Stan, we don't blow us own trumpet enough round here. We hide us light under a bucket.
I think so.
I always have thought so. I mean, take this thing here, for instance. A dining hatch. The very latest development in modern living. First one round here. But just let me mention that in the corner shop when I go for my order, and what happens?
What?
A deathly hush. They're green as grass, the lot of them, and it's only 'cause it's us what's got it. Ah, well, this time, they're not going to get away with it. Oh, no.
What do you mean?
I've got plans for us, Stanley.
What plans?
That hatch is going to become the turning point in our social lives. Now, this afternoon when you come home, there's going to be no snoring in the chair with your gob wide open. I want you up them stairs and washed.
What for?
Because, Stanley Ogden, we are about to take us proper place in society round here. That's what for.
Thought you were helping Maggie Click at the shop.
I was.
Won't you be wondering where you are?
No, it's all right. I've told her I've something else on.
And have you?
Yeah, I've got to go to the library and change my records.
Oh, really, Lucy?
Oh, come on, Auntie Annie. I could get more flogging matches than what Maggie Clegg's paying me. Talk about sweated labour.
Yes, but you're not selling matches, are you? Or anything else for that matter.
Oh, I'll get some. Don't
But
worry.
when? Look, Lucille, a day here, a day there. You're not even trying for a permanent job.
Of course I'm trying. I've just seen Uncle Len asked him if he wanted a permanent secretary at the yard.
And did they?
Like they needed O's in their heads. Still, never mind. 10 out of 10 for trying, eh?
Oh,
I beg your pardon?
I said, oh, Miss Nugent. An exclamation of exasperation from my deepest heart.
Lucille's still resting then, is she?
She most certainly is.
Had a feeling she was, somehow.
Miss Nugent, dear, I suppose you haven't had a change of heart, have you, about speaking up for her at the warehouse?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. It isn't that one doesn't sympathise with your position, but I simply can't let my personal feelings override my professional judgment.
Oh, I see. Well, we must remember your public spiritedness next time you need help.
Oh, please, Mrs. Walker, do spare me the sabre rattling. It isn't even as if Lucille herself has exactly bowed down with care at the prospect of unemployment.
Miss Nugent, dear, you know well as I do that is just a front. A display of bravado to cover her humiliation.
Well, that's certainly very loyal of you, Mrs. Walker, but it's not my impression, I'm afraid. And speaking of sleeping, it was nearly 4 a.m. before I was received into the land of Nod this morning.
And what has your insomnia to do with me, pray?
Nothing, Mrs. Walker, but it has a lot to do with Lucille.
Oh?
You might just tell her from me that whilst I've nothing against Led Zeppelin personally, my enthusiasm does tend to wane a little in the darkest hour before dawn, especially if one happens to be one of those who still has to get up in the morning.
Oh, Miss Nugent, I'm glad I've caught you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Ogden. I'm afraid I'm in something of a dash.
Now, I won't keep you a minute, Chuck. It's just about this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Yeah, me and Stan was wondering if you'd like to come round to our house for a cup of tea and a fancy. You and some others, a selected few, like.
Oh, what's the occasion?
Oh, no special occasion, Miss Nugent. No, it's just a sort of social gesticulation on me and Stan's part to show us community spirit.
Well, I do have quite a lot to do in town this afternoon, Mrs. Ogden, but I'll certainly try.
Oh, right-o then, see you later. And, of course, it goes without saying, Mrs. Walker, we want you to come and all.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hilda. It's very kind of you. I'm afraid I've far too much on my mind today to waste time on tittle-tattle over the teacups. Excuse me.
Tittle-tattle?
Yes, it's a fish shop, folks. Never seen Jacko doing the tank. And Bimbo, Chappie's office. He's got no time.
Right, how about a quick trip up the town and a quick shot at the aquarium?
Well, if you like.
But you don't.
Oh, it sounds very nice.
But you don't fancy it.
Oh, well, I want to do what you want to do.
Look, darling, it's your treat, isn't it? We want to do what you want to do.
Well, I don't know if you'd approve of it.
Well, now, try me, because, you know, I'm a very broad-minded fella.
Well, Ina wouldn't. She says it's my secret vice.
Look, Ina isn't here, is she? Now, what she doesn't see isn't going to hurt her, is it?
No, that's right. Well, it's only about 5 minutes from here if you're quick, and I know how to get there.
Right.
If it isn't my favourite ex-girlfriend, what are you going to have, darling?
Oh, no, thanks, love. I haven't got time. I've got some chops on. If I don't get back quick, they'll be turned to smoking ash. Cigarettes, please, Mr. Walker.
20, dear.
Yes, please.
Come on, are you sure you won't change your mind? Because he's in the chair.
Not for me, positive.
Oh.
20 tipped.
Ah, thank you, love.
Elsie, dear, could I have a word with you?
Far away.
Well, perhaps somewhere a little less public.
Oh, that sort of word. No, love, I can't. You don't mind if I come back after dinner? Because if I don't get back soon, they'll have the fire brigade out, eh? See ya.
Of course.
Not that me and my mucker wants to try Mrs. Walker, but we couldn't help overhearing what just passed.
Oh, yes.
And if there is a problem, well, me and Len are often consulted, you know, on affairs of the heart.
Yes. Well, I believe, Raymond, that you have already been consulted. And as so often happens when one is most in need of succour, you were not able to help.
It'd be quicker to go where we're going by tram.
Well, yes, I suppose it would, or it's not nearly so nice.
Come and see them. They're real and alive. It's a free show. Real life show. There's no charge.
Off down Daddy Tatlot's allotment then, are we, to make a start on his channel double?
Well, you're getting warm, Ray, getting warm.
Oh, come on then.
No, actually, we're off to the seaside. We're going to dig our way right through to Bondi Beach.
Ah, well, it whacks hitchhiking, doesn't it?
Oh, that's what we think. That's
And
what
it
we
saves
think.
the risk of being hijacked to Cuba.
Right. No, that'll do, thanks, Bet.
Hey, where are you off? Any road?
Blackpool. Val's mum and dad had brought the kids down from Glasgow for a few days, so I'm off to join them with these.
You're taking them all the way to Black... Why don't you get some more when you get there, you stingy devil?
Well, they wouldn't be the same ones, would
Oh,
they?
go on, he'd never tell the difference.
You've never been a father, you know.
No, he hasn't. Right, I'll see you then.
Hey, Ken, keep your eyes skinned for Minnie Coldwell if you go in there today. She's gone with a new fancy man.
Oh, yeah? Which new fancy man is this, then?
Will you tell him, or shall I?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Yeah. And we come 50 miles to do this.
Oh, yes. Only I wouldn't feel that I've been to Blackpool if I hadn't.
Step this way, take a seat and join the play. Fabulous prize is to be won, and you don't have to fill that boat to win, ladies and gentlemen. All you require are the four corners, lying down across or corner to corner. One win will bring you gut prize, save your vouchers for a better prize.
Eyes down, look in.
Yeah.
All the fours, down the doors. A yellow ball, Cowboys friend 45. On the white, 7 and 5 and 75. A blue ball, key of the door 21.
House!
House call on 21 by the little lady with a big smile.
Yellow, 26, 23,
Right, now, what about going to have something to eat?
21.
I can't go yet, Mr. Smith. I need 2 more vouchers for that half-tea service I've set my heart on.
House correct. There you are, gorgeous. You can have another game now.
Oh, yes, please.
And what about your husband, dear? Sporting type to me.
Oh, he's not my husband.
Well, whoever's husband is, I mean, we're all blood-minded in Blackpool. Put your money in the slot to be playing, ladies and gentlemen. Best prize in Blackpool. I tell you, I don't know how much it paid. I must do it for love. There's no explanation.
So, you don't want to go and eat then?
Well, I'm very fond of hot dogs.
Hot dog. Hot dog.
Bet, can I have a meat pie, please? No gravy.
one meat pie without gravy, just 10, please.
Sorry, I've got nothing, Nesta.
Sorry.
You all right?
What do you mean?
I just thought you looked a bit down in the mouth, that's all.
Well, I'm just not in my laughing mood today. I mean, you're not always, are you, Maggie?
Don't look at me, love. She's been like that, like a wet Monday ever since we walked in.
Are you sure we can't tempt you to something, darling, like a glass of water heavily disguised as a gin and orange?
No, thanks, Ray. I've had to leave the shop as it is.
I thought Miss Hewitt was in charge.
Yeah, so did I. I thought she was helping me, but the novelty seems to have worn off. I must say her idea of part-time employment is even more casual than most. Thanks, love. See you.
Ta-ra, love.
Right, we'll have another couple of pints, please, Chuckles, and one for yourself.
No, I'm not bothered.
What's the matter, love? Are you being thwarted in love?
Oh, that's just flaming typical, that, isn't it?
What is?
Fellas. As soon as you're not hanging on to their every word and running round after them, they think you've been stood up by another fella.
And have you?
No, I've not.
Oh, come on, love. We're not just here for the beer, you know. We come for the happy, smiling face on the barmaid.
Oh, well, in that case, you better find yourselves another boozer. I'm only paid to pull ale, not provide the floor show.
This afternoon, Min? Yeah, me and Stan's asking a few friends round for a few drinks. Of tea, that is.
Well, I would if I could, Hilda, but I can't. You see, I have this curly-headed fella that comes in at tea time every day, and if I'm not there, he starts banging on the table with his fists, you see.
Please yourself, of course.
Yeah, well, I usually do, don't I?
Hey, Tom Mix.
What?
I hope you're not by any chance inviting that blonde bombshell round to our house for a tea.
You got the last vote, didn't you?
She's not, folks. She's a barmaid.
Well, just as well then, isn't it?
What do you mean, you've asked her, haven't you?
She can't come.
Can't come.
She's got better things to do with her time.
Chicken monkey.
I didn't order a gin and tonic.
Compliments of the management.
Oh, aye. Where's the catch?
No catch, just a small cry for help, that's all.
What sort of help?
Well, you do know, of course, that Dave Smith has given Lucille the sack.
Well, I had heard he'd offer her a job back and she told him where to stick it.
Well, an understandable reaction, don't you think? The sort of thing that you might have done yourself under similar circumstances.
Where do I come in?
Well, you have, shall we say, a position of trust and responsibility over at the warehouse.
Yes, Mrs. Walker. We also have a personnel officer to deal with the new recruits.
Of course, but you also have a waiting list of people for vacancies. Now, the right word in the right ear.
It's Mrs. Sharple's Stan. Come to have a spot of tea with us.
Oh, aye,
Said it was a tea party.
Yeah, well, there's one or two who's had to cry off for reasons best known to themselves, but not to worry. Show Mrs. Sharples to a seat then, Stanley.
Oh, aye. Well, sit yourself down, love.
Thanks.
Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'll just get my tablecloth out of the morning room. If you'll just stand by the new hatch, Stanley, I'll pass the things through. Knock 3 times and ask for Stanley. You know, I really don't know how we managed before Stan put up this new hatch for me.
Have you moved your meat safely to Slopston in there, then?
How do you mean, Mrs. Sharples?
Well, I always thought the hatch was made to join a kitchen and dining room together to save folks' legs.
Oh, yes, well, of course, it's entirely operational on yourself where you have them, you know, Mrs. Sharples. You see, we've only got a bearing wall between that room and the kitchen, so we thought we'd have one on the front room wall instead, just for a change, like.
I see.
Of course, it's not something I would have thought of myself. Oh, no, it was a big surprise to me when I come home and found out what Stan had done.
Oh, bet it was.
All his own work and all, you know, no help from nobody. Oh, he's no stone jug, isn't Stan, you know. Appearances can be very deceptive.
So he did it all by himself, did he?
Oh, well, they've always been pretty good with me hands, you know.
And that's what all this was in aid of. The Mad Hatter's tea party.
Oh, no, that's just a coincidence, you know, but the hatch is a bit of an help, isn't it?
You missed your way, Stanley.
What do you mean?
Well, if you tied a pink ribbon across it, happened you'd have got Prince Charles to come and open it for you.
So, what do you think then, Mrs. Sharples? Stanley? Andy, eh?
Unique, I'd say.
There you are, Stan, what did I tell you?
And if you were to paint some stripes on the wall underneath and get a dog with a ruff, you'd have something else and all, wouldn't you?
What's that?
Your own Punch and Judy show. And if you do, I know one person round here who'll never be away.
On the red, number 2. Yellow ball, 3 and 4, 34.
House!
Never.
34, by the little lady in the corner with a dad.
Oh, now that was something that was
26,
always
7,
learnt at school.
2,
If
9,
at first you
34.
don't succeed,
Yeah. Listen, you do realise, don't you, for all the money you've been putting in there, I could have bought that half-tea service 3 times over.
oh yes, but it wouldn't be the same. It's the thrill of the chase.
They are Dimples. Now, what about one last game for luck?
No.
Come on, don't be mean.
No, I said. Now, come on, let's have that half-tea service, honey, and no cracks from either of you. Right, now then, what about that trip up the tower then?
Oh, well, there's something else that I want to do first.
Oh, yeah?
Something that I've wanted to do for the last 40 years.
Well, don't tell me. Let it come as a glorious surprise.
Oh, I've had a lovely afternoon, Dave.
Yes, so I. Minnie.
Hello, love. Is your Auntie Annie in?
She's in the back. Shall I get her?
No, no. It's all right. There's no hurry. You haven't got yourself a job then yet?
That's right.
I see. How far have you looked?
Oh, around, you know.
And I don't suppose you spent much time watching your pillar at night either.
Well, there's not much point, is there? Hey, don't tell me, Auntie Annie, but there's quite a lot to be said for being on the dole, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I'm better off than you for a start.
Are you now?
Yeah, get up when I like, go to bed when I like, £5 in my pocket. You know, I think I must have been born out of my time. I think I was born to be a lady or something.
Weren't we all, love? Weren't we all? There we are then, Mrs. Sharples.
Thanks.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Ogden. I did call round at the house, but there didn't seem to be anybody in.
Oh?
I just wanted to make my apologies for non-appearance this afternoon.
Oh, yes.
Well, I did make a supreme effort to get back in time, but I'm afraid the prevailing buses weren't very favourable.
Yes, well, never mind. I expect we'll be having another little get-together quite soon. Only next time we'll just have to be more selective in our selection, won't we?
Any news, dear?
Yes, Mrs. Walker, as a matter of fact, there is a job in the office, but, well, I don't think it's quite Lucille's cup of tea.
I don't see why you should think that. She's had a lot of office experience.
Yeah, I know, but it's the firm, you see. They feel very unhappy about employing royalty.
Royalty?
Yeah. You see, it makes the more humble workers feel very uneasy.
You've been waiting 40 years to do this?
Oh, quite 40.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me it's 40 years since you paddled in the sea at Blackpool.
Well, no. Only not with a handsome young man for an escort.
Right. Well, now that we've both rediscovered our lost youth, how about going up and drying our feet before we both catch pneumonia?
All right.
All right. But you didn't bring a towel, did you?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Oh, go on. We'll have to use this then.
Oh, well, that was lovely, wasn't it?
There you are.
Oh.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Smith.
Right. Hello. Can you see what I can see?
Oh, it's Ken Barlow and the twins.
Yeah, that's not all either.
I've never seen her before.
Well, I have. I can't think where.
Okay? Come on, Em. Good lad. All right, what about a shoot off? Great. All right. Well, look, you two, you run on as fast as you can, right up there, okay?
Oh, yes. Oh, you took me.
That one's with you.